Crim Nutrition Team presents a cooking demo of Peaches and Waffles, a Michigan Harvest of the Month recipe developed by the Michigan Fitness Foundation. Pause the video now to either write down or screenshot this recipe card. You should try to make at least half of your grains whole grains. This recipe is a great way to sneak whole grains into your diet by choosing whole wheat waffles. The only way to know for sure if a food is a whole grain food is to check the ingredient list. Wheat flour is not the same as whole wheat flour. You want to make sure the ingredient list has the word whole in it. This means that you're getting the entire grain as opposed to getting a processed grain. Whole grains contain a lot of vitamins and minerals that refined grains lack. They have things like healthy fats, B vitamins, and most importantly, fiber. Fiber helps to keep our digestive systems regular and keeps us fuller longer. It's important for both kids and adults to eat fiber, especially for breakfast. It'll keep you full and more focused on the task at hand rather than a rumbling stomach. Looking at this nutrition label, we can see that 2 of these waffles contain 7 grams of dietary fiber. While we all need different amounts of fiber every day to keep our bodies regular, this is a great start for anybody. This chart will give you an idea of how much fiber you need every day depending on your gender and age group. If you are using fresh peaches for this recipe, choose peaches at the store that have a sweet smell and give slightly to gentle pressure. Peaches are in season right now, so it's a good time to buy them. If you get peaches that aren't quite ripe yet and you want them to ripen faster, place them in a brown paper bag on the counter until they are ripe. You can also use canned peaches for this recipe. When shopping for canned fruit, try to always get fruit that is packaged in 100% juice. This guarantees that there is no added sugars. It's okay if you already have peaches or other fruit at home that's packaged in something else like heavy syrup. Just drain and rinse it before you eat it. Make sure you always wash your fruit before you use it, even if it is going to be getting cooked like in this recipe. So my peaches were a little bit overripe and had some bruises, so I'm just going to cut those parts off here. And I'm also going to leave the skin on my peaches because the skin contains some valuable nutrients that we don't want to miss out on, such as fiber. So the recipe called for 4 peaches diced. That adds up to about 2 cups. If you don't have that many fresh, you can always use a mixture of the canned and frozen and fresh, or just whatever you have at home. You could even add in some other fruits to this, like if you have plums that you want to use up, or even apples. Here's a look at everything you're going to need to make the peaches. The recipe called for 3 tablespoons of brown sugar and 3 tablespoons of granulated sugar, but instead I'm using some honey and 100% pure maple syrup. And this is just because I prefer the taste of those better, so you can use whatever your family likes. So the cornstarch is going to thicken this mixture for you. If you do not have any and are unable to go to the store and get some, that's okay. You can just leave that out and just use a little bit less water. So if you are using the cornstarch, the best way I realize to go about that is to whisk it in with the water before you add it into the pot. That way you can guarantee that there are no lumps and make sure it's all incorporated. So we're going to add that cornstarch and water mixture to a saucepan and add in our sugars or sweeteners, whatever you're using, and then let that come to a boil. So we're going to let the sugar and cornstarch mixture come to a boil so it will thicken. You can see that it kind of starts to separate here, so I realized the best way to stir it and keep it homogenized was with a fork or a whisk. You do want to make sure that you keep stirring this mixture so it doesn't burn. So after about a minute of boiling, the mixture will be the right thickness, and you're going to turn the heat way down and then add in your vanilla extract and your cinnamon or whatever spice you're using. So once you get all of the cinnamon and vanilla incorporated, you're going to fold in your diced peaches. If you happen to be using peaches that weren't quite ripe yet and were a little bit harder, you can actually keep your pot on a low simmer and let those peaches soften in the sauce. Now that the peaches are done, I'm going to toast the waffles. And now you just serve and enjoy. As you can see, this recipe came together super quick and easy and has very few ingredients. And like I said, it's full of fiber from those whole grains and vitamin C from the peaches. If you're somebody who is short on time in the morning, you can always make it the night before and then store it in the refrigerator to just heat and top off your waffles. Here's a few more recipes that you can use canned or fresh peaches in if you want to pause the video now and write these ideas down. Thanks for watching, and we hope you enjoy this recipe.